Sinbad needs no introduction. He's been part of movie history for decades, and all the actors who played Sinbad were a feast for the eyes.
Here are my picks for the top 10 actors that have played Sinbad. Just a fair warning, in this video we're gonna go quite vintage for some of the entries. Let's get into it and I hope you enjoy.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Dale Robertson was an American actor best known for his TV roles as well as Western movies. Time magazine called him probably the best horseman on television in 1959. Throughout his career, Robertson starred in well over 60 Western titles. But why did he take on the role of Sinbad, a character far from the Westerns his audiences were used to? Well, to shake things up, I guess.
Robertson began his acting career in 1947 per chance while he was still in the United States Army.
His mother asked to have a portrait taken for her because she didn't have one of him. So he and several other soldiers went to Hollywood to find a photographer. Not long after the photos were taken, he found himself receiving letters from movie agents who wished to represent him. He's on this week's list because in 1955 he starred as Sinbad in Son of Sinbad along legendary actor Vincent Price. Robertson's performance and the overall movie was condemned by the Catholic Legion of Decency for its portrayal of women. The opening dance sequence was particularly frowned upon by critics as being dehumanizing. Douglas Fairbanks Jr. started acting when he was only 13 years old, when he was given a contract with Paramount Pictures which paid him $1,000 a week for 3 years. He starred in dozens of movies from 1916 to 1987 and is best known for starring in movies like The Prisoner of Zenda, released in 1937, and The Corsican Brothers, released in 1941.
After World War II, as well as 30 years in the entertainment business,
he tried to revive his career when he portrayed Sinbad in 1947's Sinbad the Sailor, hoping that he took on the correct project. Unfortunately, the movie was considered a box office bomb as it failed to recoup its budget. Nevertheless, it currently holds an 80% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It seems future generations enjoyed the film much more than the 1947 audiences. Phillip Law started his acting career at the age of 13 when his mother got him work as an extra in 1950's The Magnificent Yankee. The movie was well received by critics and would eventually open doors for Law in Hollywood. His name would make for an excellent TV series about an attorney. Anyway, sorry for getting sidetracked. Law is best known for appearing in the spaghetti western Death Rides a Horse, and he starred in over 40 movies throughout his career, with his final appearance being in 2012. His performance in Death Rides a Horse showed Hollywood producers and directors that he was leading man material, and in 1973 he starred as the titular character in The Golden Voyage of Sinbad.
The Golden Voyage of Sinbad was a worldwide international success. Worldwide international. Same thing probably, and won the first Saturn Award for the Best Fantasy Movie.
Have you ever seen this movie? Let me know in the comments. Patrick Wayne, the son of legendary actor John Wayne, started his acting career at the tender age of 11.
And coincidentally, he starred in 11 movies alongside his father before making a name for himself in Hollywood.
One of his first major roles was in 1956's The Searchers, alongside his father and Natalie Wood. Singer Buddy Holly was such a fan of Wayne's character and iconic line, "That'll Be the Day," that he used it as inspiration for one of his biggest rock and roll singles. At the age of 39 he portrayed Sinbad. Patrick Wayne of course, not Buddy Holly. Anyway, he portrayed Sinbad in 1977's Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. The movie was released in the same summer as the original Star Wars movie, and it struggled at the box office. The fact that the movie received mixed reviews didn't help either. Even 5 years after its release, a reviewer for the Ottawa Citizen described the film as a bad upteenth entry in the series and slowly paced. Manu Bennett is a New Zealand actor best known for his work in fantasy movies and series like Spartacus, which ran for 3 seasons between 2010 and 2013.
The series famously didn't shy away from showing skin, and Manu Bennett had his fair share of scenes that took our breaths away.
What you probably didn't know was that this handsome actor also starred in the Peter Jackson Hobbit trilogy, portraying Azog the Defiler, but chances are that he went under your radar in The Hobbit, as his face was hidden behind grotesque makeup effects. In 2011 he starred in the made-for-TV movie Sinbad and the Minotaur. He was as handsome as ever, but the movie was mediocre and currently holds a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes with an 18% audience score. This handsome and gay actor is best known for portraying Sinbad, Gulliver and Jack the Giant Slayer between 1958 and 1962. He and his partner, Tom Nichol, met in 1961 and were together for 46 years until Matthews' death in 2007. He's on this week's list because in 1958 he starred in the 7th voyage of Sinbad, which is considered by most critics to be one of the best Sinbad movies ever made, even today. Not only was it a good swashbuckler movie, it was also pretty gay if you ask me. Just look at those servant boys. I cannot recall any other Sinbad movie with shirtless servants like this one.
Hold on to your hats, we're entering the top 4 spots, and if you're still with me, thank you very much for watching.
Richard Grieco is an actor and former model as well as a certified hunk from the 80s and early 90s. He starred in over 40 movies but is best known for his role as Detective Dennis Booker on the 80s series 21 Jump Street, which spawned a reboot movie in 2012 starring Channing Tatum. The series tells the story of a squad of not so young but youthful looking undercover police officers who are investigating crimes in high schools and colleges. The series was also what flung Johnny Depp into stardom and had fans fighting about who's better, Depp or Grieco. Grieco portrayed Sinbad in the 1988 film Sinbad and the Battle of the Dark Knights. Though he was a handsome Sinbad, the movie was a failure and very few people even heard of it, never mind watched it. John Morrison is a wrestler and actor. WWE promoted him to its SmackDown roster in April 2005 under the ring name Johnny Nitro. Or Nitro. I'm not sure, I don't watch WWE. In 2016 he starred in Sinbad and the War of the Furies, which was a low-budget action-adventure movie produced by the Asylum, and only hardcore Morrison or Asylum fans ever saw the movie. It tells of a modern-day adventurer called Sinbad who accidentally releases the Furies, 3 beautiful but evil ancient beings powerful enough to threaten life on Earth. It was produced on a moderate budget and received mostly negative reviews and wasn't a financial success at all. But nobody's watching Asylum movies for their award-winning plots or special effects. The premise was silly, the acting was amateurish, and there was no connection to Sinbad except the name. But we watched it anyway just to see Morrison's muscles. Zen Gesner is an American actor who is mostly recognized for his role as Sinbad in the syndicated television series The Adventures of Sinbad, which aired for 2 seasons between 1996 and 1998. The series was a reimagination of The Adventures of Sinbad from the Arabian folklore and was filmed mostly in Ontario, Canada. The show received favorable reviews, and according to some critics of the time, the series was on par with 2 similar fantasy shows, Xena the Warrior Princess and Hercules the Legendary Journeys, which also aired during the 90s. In a period in TV history when fantasy shows were all the rage, the handsome Zen Gesner didn't get enough screen time at all, as the show was cancelled after the 2nd season, and he had only a few smaller roles before completely disappearing from the spotlight.
And our number 1 spot on this week's video goes to none other than
Elliot Knight made his acting debut as the title character on the Sky One action-adventure series Sinbad. Elliot was ethnically and physique-wise the closest to the Arabian hero according to many critics, and he did the role justice as well. It was basically one of the few times Sinbad wasn't whitewashed by movie producers and stayed true to its source material. Knight portrayed Sinbad for only 12 episodes, but critics commended the fast-paced editing and snappy dialogue as well as praised the diversity of the cast. Knight starred in several other series, including How to Get Away with Murder, Once Upon a Time and Life Sentence. The first episode of Sinbad received an overnight ratings of 1.6 million viewers, and it's not hard to understand why. I personally don't think any other actor could have portrayed Sinbad better than Knight. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Quick bonus for you.
Mighty Lou Ferrigno brings to light the amazing adventures of Sinbad.
Lou Ferrigno portrayed Sinbad in 1989's Sinbad of the Seven Seas. I wasn't sure where to put him on this list, as he was definitely tied for first place with Elliot Knight. Where would you place him on this list? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can also check out some of the other videos on this channel. I also have a second channel filled with original content which you can check out if you want to.